Scouts. I am Nicholas Mazzella, and I welcome you to the March 9th Court of Honor. I'll be your Master of Ceremonies this evening, and we are here tonight to celebrate the Scouts' advancements and achievements. So let's start with the opening ceremony.
Color guard, attention. Audience, please rise. Scout salute. Color guard, march forward. Color guard, halt. Please recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
2. Color guard, post the colors. Color guard, retreat. Everybody may be seated.
Scout up. On my honor.
Do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help the people at all times, to keep themselves too strong and manipulating and morally straight.
Hi, Dean Milano. Oh, it's Devin Milano. Scouts, please remove your hats and bow your heads. Lord, we give thanks to you for our strength, for our courage, and for our love of scouting. We ask you to bless our actions, our organization, and the people who volunteer within it. We ask you to bless us tonight in your name. Amen. Now for rank advancements, will we please have Thomas Abramo and his parents come to listen.
Welcome to Scouting. Now that you've earned your first rank, Scout, you can continue to feel the thrill and enjoy the fun of rank advancement and merit badges as a member of the Scout troop. As you grow, be sure to share your skills and service with others.
Thomas, you have now left the rank of Weevil Scout, learned the Boy Scout oath, law, motto, sign, salute, and handshake. As we welcome you to our troop, we want you to understand that you are special and that you are willing to strive for higher goals and achievements. Congratulations, you have begun your journey towards Eagle Scouts. Please accept the Scout badge as your first step.
In addition to the Scout badge, when Scout gets the Scout rank, they also receive a red ribbon that is pinned to the mother's chest. Now, would anyone in attendance be willing to explain why it's red? The enthusiastic jab in the back.
Yeah. So the ribbon is red so if the Scout accidentally misses the ribbon, because it is pretty thin, if he pricks behind the ribbon or beside the ribbon, blood won't show because, the ribbon's red.
Yeah, would anybody be willing to time the race? Tough competition.
Mark, set, go.
It's a tight race.
Tenderfoot, please have Ashi Ati come to the stage.
Now that you've earned your first taste, now that you've had your first taste of scouting and activities, and you've earned the rank of Tenderfoot, you must plan for your future. With more merit badges and rank advancement earned, you will have a busy time in scouting. Your scoutmaster and leaders will help you toward the next step, second class, with Eagle as your goal.
So actually, the Chinese have a saying, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. There's a lesson in that saying. In scouting, as in life, the rewards do not come to those who sit back and wait, but to those who continually take steps, both large and small, towards their ultimate goals. You have taken the second step on your Boy Scout journey by earning your Tenderfoot rank. If you look over your Boy Scout handbook during the week, or ask how to accomplish a certain skill, you are taking small steps towards the big step in your journey. The next step is second class. It is my hope that you all set the Eagle Scout Award as your goal in scouting. Congratulations, as you have earned your rank of Tenderfoot. In our one of the other traditions in the troop is to award or recognize the scout as they earn Tenderfoot with their neckerchief that somebody in their family or some loved one has embroidered for them. So with this, you go from no neckerchief to the neckerchiefs now. So congratulations on this too.
Who wants to time it? Vicky, do it anyways. Set. Go.
7 seconds.
Receiving second class, Leo Mastiello and his parents.
Nice going. You've worked hard and earned the right to wear the badge that shows you know what it means to be prepared. As a scout who has earned the second class rank, you'll have a chance to really participate as a veteran in your troop and share the fun, thrills, and know-how of your skills and merit badges with your patrol and troop members. Next step, first class.
The second class badge has the scout motto printed on a scroll. This shows that the scout is now prepared to take on the scouting adventure before him. He has earned the basic map reading and how to set up camp and cook a simple meal. He has learned personal first aid and basic swimming. At the bottom of the scroll is a knot. This is to remind the scout of the scout slogan, do a good turn daily. The ends of the scroll are turned up representing the scout's smile that he shows while doing his daily tasks. These scouts have accepted the great responsibility of the Scout Oath and Law. Congratulations.
Now that we have an actual race, who wants to time it?
Who's gonna call it? See, somebody.
On your mark, get set.
Yes.
Go.
Oh, that was all stars.
How much was it?
Receiving first class, can we please have Jack D'Antonio and his parents come to the stand, and Ryan Cohen and his parents.
That shirt's looking good there, Jack.
Yeah!
It's tucked in. But where's the belt?
What's the what?
Where's the belt? You're halfway there. You're halfway. Yeah.
Now that you've become a first-class scout, you're ready to learn to be a leader in your troop. You'll have the chance to teach skills and share your skills and merit badge know-how with others. Good luck in leadership and service.
It's first class socks.
Are those scout socks?
Yeah.
They look toast.
So, you have earned the rank of First Class Scout. This rank represents a significant step in scouting. By making it to First Class rank, you have expanded on your swimming, cooking, orienteering, and first aid skills. In your next steps in scouting, you will start to learn the skills that help you guide others along the path of scouting. You will earn the next ranks of scouting by learning from the members of your community. By earning merit badges, you will learn more about, well, life in general, and how to be a good citizen. Community service will help in developing your pride and confidence in everything that you do. By taking on patrol and troop leadership positions, you will grow in your understanding of the term responsibility for yourself and others. The guideposts for your next steps in scouting continue to be the Scout Oath and Law. Congratulations on becoming a first-class scout.
Jack, there was a reason no one was clapping. Okay?
The bell.
Okay, so on a scout's first summer camp, I believe, they brand a stave with 1776 on it. The troop remember that. So, and they receive it when they're first class. During preference.
I think there's
Said it louder, said it louder.
3, 2, 1, go. What was the time? 3:74.
Receiving stars will be Paul D'Antonio and his parents, Jai Chen Jane and his parents, and Colin O'Brien and his parents.
The participation, spirit, and service you have shown to earn this award will guide you and others like a star to further advancement. As you complete merit badges for the next step, Life Scout will be a constant source of help to your fellow scouts. We'll be counting on your leadership and guidance to show them the way.
You are no longer a first-class scout. Whether you realize it or not, by meeting your star requirement, you left the group of those who merely received in scouting. Tonight, you'll join a smaller, more significant group, those whose duty and privilege it is to give scouting to others. You've started learning about service, leadership, and responsibility. Before you stretches a trail that leads to a worthier, more mature part of scouting, that of giving. By following the Scout oath and law, you can continue to follow this trail. If you follow the trail far enough, the highest scouting goal will be yours. As you've received your star badge, it's with full realization that you will be giving guidance and inspiration to younger scouts. Please accept the congratulations of the leaders of the troop.
Okay, what's the time?
Cheating, Mr. O'Leary. How did you cheat? Three, two, one, and go. Practice.
Time.
Receiving the rank of life is Adrian Carley, who is currently not here, so we'll recognize him later. And receiving the rank of Eagle is Brandon Kelly, and he's also not here.
So Manu and his brother entered a contest by the VFW. They advertise this every year. They write an essay and they recite it on video, and they get a scholarship. So I'm just very proud to announce that Manu and his brother won the scholarship at the post level. Commander Shrapnel was not able to be with us tonight to actually present it, but I want to recognize it, so we'll present it another time. But for all the scouts who are interested, every year they do the scholarship. It's a good way to get some money, and it's good to show your patriotism and appreciation towards the VFW. Thank you. All right.
Now for trips, we have the first aid knee for being presented by Mr. Brown.
Okay, so unfortunately Alex isn't here tonight. He was the SPL for the first aid meet back in December. For the scouts who did go, you guys did a fantastic job. This goes back a couple of years. The district, which is sort of our entire central Jersey area, always runs a first aid meet, first aid competition every year. COVID started and that event was one of the first ones we lost, and they just haven't gotten it back going yet. So about 2 years ago, Alex Jacobs, who was our first aid instructor at the time, and Mr. Brogan over ASM said, well, that's not cool, and started one for just local area troops. So 1776 ran it last year, invited local troops to come and compete against us in first aid. This year, one of those troops reached out and said, hey, this was a great idea, we'd like to host it. So this year, Troop 94 in Branchburg hosted the Branchburg First Aid Meet over at White Oak Park. Our patrol did very well, and it was a really good chance to get out and kind of do something joint, you know, with a local troop. And we found a couple other common interests between the scouts, so hopefully we'll have some more joint troop events going on. And again, he can't be here tonight, but Alex Jacobs was the SPL, did a great job on that.
We have the Klondike being presented by AJ Brogan and Mr. Floyd.
Okay, I'm Alexander Brogan. I was the SPL on the Klondike that was held the first weekend of February. We had lots of fun. We did very good in the competition.
Did you come in first place?
No. All right.
Second place?
No. All right. So this rude audience member seems so insistent. We came in second place by 1 point. So,
And who beat us?
oh, what was the Scarlet?
Scarlet
Snowflakes.
Snowflakes. That was painful.
If you were there, you know why we lost.
All right. So anyway, I do want to say this, that AJ really did a great job as the SPL on this trip. He's very laid back, he's mellow. He's got a Garfield-like demeanor, which is a real asset, though, for a competition like the Klondike, because I've been to a number of Klondikes where some scouts strive to win. It was overwhelming, and the teammates were brutal, and they were miserable, and they were fighting with each other. So this trip, they were really all smiles. I have one funny story that I want to share. We were not allowed to follow the scouts around at all to the different skill stations because you're not allowed to coach them. And if you coach them, you actually run the risk of losing points or actually being disqualified, right, from the event and stuff. So Firetown was about 150 feet from the lodge where we were hanging out in, and we saw our troop go by, and we went outside to watch from a distance. And it was the fire starting station. And there's a fire pit, and the scouts light a fire, and there is a rope, a string that's held a certain height above the 18 inches above the fire pit.
Second one.
Then that's right, the second one, 24 inches, right? And what they have to do is they light the fire, and the idea is they have to burn through the string, and they time it. And the fastest group that burns through the string is the one that was victorious. So Kyle Wargo built this magnificent fire. It was huge, right? But what was happening was that wind was blowing the flames like horizontally under this string. So we're like 150 feet away. We can't say anything. We're watching it, And Jim Droves, right? He's not here tonight, but what he does is he takes his fingers and he puts them in his forehead, right? Stand in front of the fire, block the wind. So he's doing this. And then all of a sudden, Finn Taylor goes, "Hey guys, let's stand in front of the let's block the wind." So I gotta tell you something. So we just started laughing. I mean, it was utterly hysterical, So basically, Jim, if you're not here, but I am humbled by your powers. I double-checked the rules, and telepathy is not cheating. So I have some gifts for you, just to commemorate this trip. First, I have a picture that Miss Net, of course, ordered and got, framed. It's a picture of all of the crew and stuff like that. It says Klondike 2023, SPLAG program. You guys are standing in front of an Eagle Scout badge. Let's hope that's prophetic, right? What happens in your life.
The log is in the picture.
What is that?
Julietta.
Oh, Julietta, there was a log that they found, and they carried it around for the entire trip. They named the log Julietta. Finn is planning on marrying it. I think Finn needs therapy. Also, I got you a fire starter. You might already have one of your own, but that's the fire starter that Mr. Flips.
I don't believe I have.
That's the one that I actually love the most. That's my favorite one. And last but not least, I got for you a inspiring wilderness survival story, Garfield in the Rough. God bless you.
On the third trip, we have Gore Mountain being presented by Jonathan Long and Mrs. Long.
And you guys. So I got so lucky to drive with these amazing kids. So we always think the kids are always on their phone. We laughed and talked the entire time. We played 20 questions. They were playing chess, and then they made it at some point where the chess had like only 4 squares. I don't know how they were like coming up with all these brand new games and stuff. So we had a lot of fun. It was nice because they were talking, so I stayed awake. It's a long drive. It was awesome. So we did a lot of great things, but the most important thing I want to talk about is a bowling ball named Fred. Okay, this bowling ball named Fred was really the mascot, the highlight of our Gore trip. So first of all, let me just say thank you to Jim Jacobs, who ran the trip with JJ Santos. They can't be here, which is why I'm up here talking. I was one of the drivers my first trip ever. And so we actually had to change it because the weather was really cold. If you guys remember the first weekend in February, it was minus 18 up there. So we went up a day later and we changed our ski day to Sunday, which was 30 degrees warmer. So on Saturday when we got there, it was really cold. Like if you went outside, you were in pain. You went right back in. So we said, let's go bowling. So we went bowling, and we were all J's again. There was JJ, Jasmine, me, all of us are J's, and then Fred. And I was like, who's Fred? And he's like, I'm Fred. My bowling ball is Fred. So I was like, okay, no problem. But can you please be Jacob? We'll be all J's. No, it's me, Fred. So then Fred became this thing. And it was like, you weren't doing well, you picked up Fred. You know, and Fred would bring home a great strike. So then we're leaving, and he's coming outside with Fred. And I was, because the bowling ball's actually name was Fred. And I'm like, well, you have to put that back. So I bought him. I said, for $25 off the bat. I said, okay. So he puts him in the car, we get to the place, puts him in a bin, takes him down to the lake. Now Fred's at the lake, they were playing on the lake, they're sliding on the lake. And I'm thinking, I hope it's sticking up, but we all, parents were down there, they're having a blast. And then we get up there, and there's this huge room, and there's two sections. And one section you can't see when you're in the other. And I'm like, I heard bowling. They took all of the benches and made a big bowling lane. It was a big space, a big bowling lane. Took all the logs, put all the pins up, and Fred was going strong for hours in the lodge. You guys, that was a blast.
Fred was also a lefty bowling ball, we later found out. No one knew how to use it. So,
How's Fred?
it's fine.
He is a genius. So that was Fred was a lot of fun. So because it was so cold, we ended up bowling. We ended up having this mascot with us the whole time. So and the skiing was great, right? I didn't ski. I was in the lodge, bringing water and seeing how everyone was doing. But you guys want to talk about the skiing or anything else about the trip?
It was really fun, and we got a lot of runs, and it was really funny because on one of my last runs, I went off the thing a little too early. My skis went under the thing, and it was like a mound, and I slid under it, and everyone was stopped because I was no longer in sight, and then both of them are there, and then the people on the stands just start like busting out laughing because there's just this like kid with his skis in the air, and the ski patrol was like, they just skied around a little tiny mound, and they're like, oh, are you okay? And I flipped upside down so I couldn't hear him. They picked me up and I started skiing down, and it was just a mess. That was a mess.
Anything else? So there was 24 people that came. There was 8 adults, 14 scouts, and 2 siblings. And it was, like I said, my first trip, first time driving, your first time snowboarding. We worked. No, but we worked. We learned to snowboard for this trip. So it was great, and thank you. Hopefully you're on the trip. Anybody else? You're on the trip. Awesome. And you guys learned, right? Awesome. All right, thank you.
For our fourth and final trip, Scout Sunday, we have John Fluette and Mr. Fluette presenting.
Scout Sunday was February 12th here at Shannon Reformed Church, our charter organization. We had about 26 members in attendance. Pat 7076 and Pat 89 also joined us. We participated in the worship service by presenting our colors, reading scriptures, and taking the offering. We shared what we've been doing this past year, and the congregation was very happy to hear about all our trips, more importantly, all the service projects and Eagle projects we've accomplished. Mr. Flight, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I'd like to, I want to thank everybody that came out. It was really, you guys did a really great job. I just want to quickly share a conversation I had with the organist as I was collecting the flags from inside the sanctuary. She said that after our SBL speech and the list of the service and the Eagle projects and the involvement of our troop in the community, she said to me that for at least a brief moment, her hope in our youth and in humanity and in our nation was restored. And you know, that was pretty touching when she said that to me. And it's really true that the world could be so chaotic. You know, the news that we listen to can be so depressing. People can be, they could be inconsiderate and ungrateful, and they could be mean. And a good deed, a kind gesture, a helping hand, a simple smile can really mean a lot to brighten people's day. I want to quote Willy Wonka, so shines the good deed in a weary world. And I really want to thank all of you for your efforts and for the good deeds that you've done this past year. You know, you guys really did a wonderful job, and I really appreciate all of you, and the church appreciates you, and the community does as well. So I'd like to congratulate you. If you participated, if you were an adult leader or a scout and you came out, please come up. I have some patches for you guys. So come on up. Please come get your patches. Thanks, young man. Stay up or not? Young man. Oh, dude. Is that it? We're done? We're good. All right. Thanks, guys.
Hi, I'm Amy Ramsden. I am the current committee chair for Troop 1776, and many of you may have been here when we announced the official transferal of the title of Scoutmaster from Mr. Romano to Mr. O'Brien. It was my pleasure to be able to do that, and this evening it is my great pleasure to be able to participate in the celebration of Mr. Romano and his service to Troop 1776. He served as Scoutmaster for over 7 years. As a mother, I can say it's been a pleasure to have had my son cross over with when Mr. Romano started his service with the troop. I think that it is a great illustration of the good a person can do in the world when you see the impact that they have on the people around them and the impression that they leave. I think all these scouts in front of you are illustrations of that, and that we have been very fortunate to have had him as a Scoutmaster. More importantly, we are very fortunate to have him continue as an assistant Scoutmaster and work with our boys. I also want to say that it should not be forgotten that Mr. Romano has given us a lot of individual moments to remember, both with our scouts on trips and during his scout minutes. One of his scout minutes, I actually was not there to see, but Mr. Ramsden was. And it was greatly amusing because Mr. Romano was talking about the transferal of information and people remaining calm, and there was a rumor that was going around at an event. And the rumor was that Vaughn was dead. There was a rumor of him being injured, but as we know, Vaughn is not dead. And it is a testament that Vaughn safely made it through scouting alive in great part due to Mr. Romano. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce, we have a great group of scouts that are going to show you just how much of an impression Mr. Romano has made on them. If you were fortunate enough to be in Troop 1776 when there was, I think, 3 Romano boys at a time, Jake, Lucas, and Peter, you will have been familiar with the Romano family jukebox.
Yes.
And Sam was the Romano family jukebox. We do not have the jukebox this evening, but we do have a great presentation by the scouts. So please enjoy, and thank you, Alan.
Good evening, everybody. As you know, I'm Dean. I'm the Deanne. Deanne, yes, as was said earlier by my good friend John. And I'm the ASPL for the troop. And I am pleased to say that I will be handling this portion of tonight's campfire program in honor of Mr. Romano, who is stepping aside as Scoutmaster after about 7+ very, very long years. Before we begin, I really want to say a personal thank you to you, Mr. Romano. Your leading style has influenced mine in many ways, and I hope I can one day be as great a leader as you were for all of us. With that, let the show begin.
Guys, where's the fire marshal? That fire is unattended. Who's the water bucket? I see no ring. Guys, not learn anything.
Dean, did you hear about Mr. Romano retiring?
Oh yeah, I just heard about it actually. What should we do?
What should we do? What should we do?
Maybe you could think about some of the ways he could use some of his free time now that he's all freed up from that position.
Maybe that oven cook buck he's been talking about.
True, but you can also take chemistry at Cambridge and make Mr. Kelly great sleeping.
Maybe you could teach Fredo and Bruno to make their own dream.
All right.
Where you can go. All right, whatever. So, I can only really imagine what force possessed Mr. Romano to take some sort of job like Scoutmaster, but I have some guesses. He may have had his reasons. So one of my reasons that I came up with was that he gets to wear a quite stylish uniform and a neat hat. You know, mine's a little patina, but his is probably a little bit nicer. You get to spend quality time with his sons and their 50 closest friends, plus everything that comes with them, including the smell. And I'm sure they told him that it would only take him an hour a week to, do this job. Kind of a little short amount, similar to something else. I'm not gonna say what.
Tough room.
Oh yeah, let him in.
Dean, I got it! I got the bouquet! Dean! Mr. Ron! I got it!
It's like firewood.
Yeah!
Nice. Is that seasoned properly?
Of course.
Kindling?
Only for the
Tinder?
best. Only the best. Only the best.
Man, thank you.
Poison ivy on it? Hey Matt, why did Mr. Romano yell at the scout for not wearing his life vest?
Because he has a short temper!
Gentlemen, I'm going to need you to all, when you are ready, I'll wait a second. If you would all be so kind, I'd like you to reach under your seats. Now, remember, what do we say if you're stuck in the forest and you can't get your fire started? We're fine. Come on, guys. Show it to him, guys.
That is a little freaky.
For a bit of our finale of our campfire program, the first part of the event, Mr. Amano, we wanted to get some of your favorite music out here, but Led Zeppelin was kind of booked up. So instead, we have our Troop 1776 Kazoo Orchestra. We'll be performing the kazoo version of Whole Lotta Love. Led Zeppelin. Yes! All right. On three, gentlemen. One. Hold on. 1, 2. Oh. Hold on. All right. Here you go. Thank you, gentlemen, for your amazing performance. You'll see us on America's Got Talent next week. So I'd like to end this evening off with a little bit of a Troop 1776 classic. Could I please have Manu, Alex, and Christian up here for a rendition of Purple Stew? My Juilliard training is really for this. Oh yeah, I forgot Adam's not here. Or Jacob, or Alex. All right, let's go. Ready? 3, 2, 1. We're making a purple stew. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. We're making a purple stew. With purple potatoes and purple tomatoes. And we want you. Okay.
More enthusiasm!
Yeah! Alright. 3, 2, 1. We're making a purple stew. Whip it, whip it, whip it, whip it. We're making a purple stew. With purple potatoes and purple tomatoes. And we want you! Yeah, you do that. You're nice.
Purple potatoes and purple tomatoes, and we want you!
Mr. Romano, I'm gonna need you back. You got it. Can you open them here? If you'd like to open them here, you can. This you might not want to open here, but I think this one.
Open it! Open it! Read the card!
See what's behind door number 2.
Sometimes you're rapping.
Did you duct tape it shut?
Get out. This is amazing. This is worth the wait.
I don't know if you can.
This is going on my desk.
It's even holds together.
Exactly right. Thank you.
Of course. Mr. Romano, thank you so much. It's been an honor.
We have one more.
I think you can. Really? I think you can.
Oh wait.
Go for as long as you like.
Oh, wait.
One more.
Oh, there's more. All right. So it's an honor to be here tonight to present Mr. Romano with just a small token of our appreciation for nearly 7 years. Small token.
Where's my stool?
Mr. Romano, I feel you.
Wait till you lose your hair. It gets
Almost. Yeah, Jackson almost there. So back in August of 2015, so the Wright family had just moved from Japan, and we were looking for a troop and a pack for Trey and Matthew. We found Troop 1776, and within just a couple weeks of moving here, we attended our first troop meeting. We knew instantly that 1776 was going to be a great fit for us. We also found out that there was a pack 1776 led by a Cub Master, Mr. Alan Romano. And our first pack event was a pack movie night hosted by the Romanos at their farm. And after meeting Mr. Romano at a parents' meeting that he hosted, sitting on the hay in the barn, we were hooked. His energy, enthusiasm, excitement for the outdoors and scouting were certainly infectious. And quite simply, we chose 1776 because of Mr. Romano. All of you know that Mr. Romano is the Energizer Bunny. So boundless energy that keeps going and going and going. It doesn't stop. He's also the epitome of that selfless servant leader. He's not the type to sit around and wait for something to be done. He's a doer. And typically, it's not for himself, it's for somebody else. He's almost always the first one to get up at camp in the morning. He'll get the coffee going, get breakfast going for the adults. And he's usually one of the last ones at night to turn in, to get into his tent. And the entire Romano family routinely opens their home for green bars, for green bar pool parties, for leadership training, militia practices, Weeblos invitationals, all kinds of stuff. COVID summer camp, we had COVID summer camp at the Romanos. It was great, and a host of other troop events. Mr. Romano is definitely all about creating those fun, high-adventure activities for the Scouts. One of the things that I have viewed as one of the most important qualities of a leader is helping those you lead achieve their hopes and dreams. And Mr. Romano certainly did that. Teaming with Aunt Susie on a couple different exciting mystery trips, leading venture trips to Maine, Utah, countless AT trips, including the Southern Trailhead down in Georgia, and multiple troop overnight events at the Romano Farm. And so Vaughn, I think he had even made a promise to you several years ago that, you know what?
Roast a pig!
What's the pig's name? Wilbur or something?
Wilbur!
He was delicious! Here's to Wilbur. Vaughn wanted to roast a pig. Mr. Romano said, you know what, Vaughn? We're going to roast that pig. It took a few years, but they roasted the pig. All right, now don't get me wrong. It wasn't always fun and games with Mr. Romano. That's Mr. Ford's department. During one of our Delaware River trips, we already talked about it a little bit. Yep, we made it through a long day, and we're beginning to get the canoes and kayaks out of the water. Well, scouts being scouts, there was some last-minute pirating that was going on, and the pirating, group kept growing and growing and growing. I was up in the parking lot, ways away, kind of getting ready for the kayaks to come up, pulling the kayak trailer. And then I heard something I've never heard before. That loud, angry Mr. Romano yelling, "Everyone get out of the water!" We're like, oh! It got quiet. Oh my goodness, what's going on? Well, it seems though a couple of the scouts were in the river without their PFDs, their personal flotation devices, and that's a big no-no on these types of trips. Everything went silent. The scouts were all shocked. Oh my goodness, we've never heard sounds like that before. And since it came from Mr. Romano, they knew they had messed up. So now in March 2020, when COVID hit, Mr. Romano was the driving force behind keeping this troop functioning. Many troops around the country saw drastic decreases in their numbers during COVID. And quite a few troops even folded. Not Troop 1776. As many of you know, our troop press corps, we had Zoom meetings, we found ways to meet safely outdoors, social distancing, who had ever heard of something like that? We were socially distancing, and we actually grew during COVID. When many other troops took a COVID pause, Mr. Romano made the most of the situation and kept us scouting on. Remember some of those awesome Scoutmaster challenges that he put out? Those are all his initiatives. Hey, look, what can we do? Let's come up with something. We're gonna have a cooking challenge. Cook a meal for your family. Hey, we need to clean something. Who can come up, take pictures of what you've cleaned out as part of a spring cleaning project. Those are all his initiatives, his ideas to keep us scouting when a lot of the world shut down. I've always been impressed with Mr. Romano, and obviously I was not able to match that here. I always had the knack for being able to say the right things, kind of getting up and being that orator, making his presentations, just off the cuff. I know he spent countless hours running, and when he was running, he'd be thinking through all the different things that he wanted to say, either at Courts of Honor, putting together his Scoutmaster minutes, putting that time in to make sure that those Scoutmaster minutes, those 5 minutes, in most cases, were really personalized for what our scouts needed to hear, either at their Court of Honor or during the Scoutmaster minutes. Anyone remember his infamous Scoutmaster minute where he came out in gym shorts, got his hat on backwards, that shirt out, Jack, San Antonio style? I noticed, Jack. I noticed. You're doing good. Yeah, so some of that Mr. Romano personality coming out there. So Mr. Romano, you have absolutely left an indelible mark on this troop. And we've got a little something we'd like to present to you to help you remember that impact that you had on our youth. So in the military, leaders of squadrons, ships, wings, any type of units are presented with command flags when they depart. And sometimes those command flags are decorated with the achievements of that squadron or ship during the time that individual was in command. So Mr. Romano, what I'd like to do is present you with your very own your very own troop flag. We've got 34 eagle pins that represent the 34 Eagle Scouts that that came through this troop during Mr. Romano's tour here.
I won't take too long.
We've heard that before.
I just added another 5 minutes.
Look what you've done!
Hey, Alan, we're getting tattooed after this. I want to let you know. Because I got ready for you.
That's right there.
I've got mine already. I really believe that everything happens for a reason, and I was in the right place at the right time, or maybe the wrong place at the wrong time, to take over as Scoutmaster in this troop. There's a plaque that sits in the cabinet over there. I don't know if you guys know that or not, but it lists all the Scoutmasters. There's a plaque there for each one. It lists all the Scoutmasters over the past 55 years. And I'm looking forward to having my name on that plaque, not for me, but I think it's so darn cool to be shoulder to shoulder next to those guys, all those Scoutmasters who served before me. And all those Scoutmasters will serve after me. And thinking to me that we all have this common goal, this common thought, this common belief in the scouting system and what it does for the youth of our community. It's just incredible. Mr. Wright has always talked about it, and Mr. Wright's been my right-hand man. For the past 5 years, you don't know how much he's done for me through COVID and those last few years, doing everything, jumping in, almost thinking ahead of me lots of times, and that was amazing. Thank you for what you did. But I hope you've heard Mr. Wright talk about putting your imprint on something. And he mentioned it a minute ago about me, but I've heard him say it to you guys. If you're leading a trip, leading a meeting, leading something, own it. Put your thumbprint on it. Put your name on it and make it something that you're proud of. And that's what I've really tried to do over the past 7 or 8 years here with you guys. And it's really my hope that some of the things that I've talked to you about repeatedly over the years, lead by example, own your meetings, wear socks on hiking trips, perhaps tie your shoes, Tyler. Yes. I really hope that some of those things will sink in. Remember that you're a scout not just when you're wearing a uniform. You're a scout every day for the rest of your life. We say the Scout Oath, the Scout Law. They're just words if you say them. Maybe it hasn't hit you yet. Maybe it'll be next week, next year. Maybe it'll be 25 years from now. You'll be standing in your kitchen with your family and you go, Mr. Romano, with his walker now. He was right. He was right about that. This troop is boy-led. It wasn't always so boy-led. There's been times when it wasn't. It's your troop now, and I've worked really hard to make it boy-led and your troop. The responsibility is on you. Own the troop. Make it the best that you can make it. Get involved. Participate. Be responsible. And this troop will be absolutely incredible. To our adult leadership, thank you all. There's some new faces here, and that's amazing. We need more new faces here. Where's Mrs. Romano? Can someone cover Mrs. Romano's ears for just a minute? Figuratively, it's okay. Mr. Bryan, Mr. Abramo, Mr. Brogan, don't trust what I've done. I'm not always right. In fact, I make a lot of mistakes. Drive the troop forward with your drive the troop forward with your passion, your vision, and make it the best that it can be. I've seen what you can do so far. Carry it forward. Do amazing things. I can't wait to see where you guys will lead us. At Peter's Court of Honor, I thank 5 very important people to me, and those are my 5 sons who got me involved in Scouting. I was a Scout when I was a young man, but when it came time to cross over to Boy Scouts, I decided not to. I chose a different path. I did other things. And my boys got me back into the program and got me to be a Scouter. And that was really special to me. There was one special person I didn't thank because I knew I'd have one last opportunity to do that. And that's my wife, Mrs. Romano, on the back. She was advancement cheer for 10 years, and there was this ridiculous number. Was it 41 Eagle Scouts? 41 Eagle Scouts made Eagle under Mrs. Romano, and she pushed them hard, but they earned it, and that's pretty amazing, just amazing. What she's done for me is supported me. I've probably camped 400 nights since I was a Scout. I've probably been to well over 1,000 Scouting meetings. I'm sure I've answered thousands of emails and spent thousands of hours happily supporting, encouraging, nurturing this program. I took a lot of time away from her and our family. But that was for us. It was for the greater good, and she recognized that. You've always been my greatest critic, but always my biggest supporter. And I love you for that. Thank you. Said when she announced that I was stepping aside, this isn't goodbye, this isn't the end. I took my Scoutmaster patch off the other night and I saved it. I'm going to do something real special with that. I have an ASM patch on now. I'm going to be around and I'm going to be involved. And I'm going to end the way I ended a lot of my Scoutmaster minutes. I cannot wait to see you guys in camp, on a trail, or on a river sometime soon. I'll see you guys there. Thank you.
Scoutmaster, or now another great Scoutmaster minute. But I did want to acknowledge the people that brought in paper goods for the Hillsborough Food Bank, or Community Food Bank. Alex Jenkins wasn't able to be here tonight, but they're in dire needs of some paper products, so he threw together an event to just collect some goods. So I'll work with him to drop those off tomorrow at the municipal building. Before I go there, Mindu, did you have another announcement? I do. Real quick.
From April 28th to April 30th this year, we're having Primitive Challenge. If you guys don't know, we alternate every other year between Carl Hunter and Primitive Challenge. And this year's Primitive Challenge. It'll be in Resica, Resica Falls. Some of you guys may have been there before. And email is to follow with more information and a sign-up sheet.
I just wanted to say one last thing. The program that we kind of created for tonight was, admittedly, you probably could tell, a little haphazardous. So I wanted to thank the people that helped me out with that tonight, everybody that helped out. I really appreciate it. Austin especially, thank you for being my stage director. Really meant a lot. That's all.
So I'd just like to take a minute to echo the comments that Mr. Wright gave earlier, and Mrs. Ramsden and everybody. So I'm just grateful to be able to be in the troop for a few years while Mr. Romano was Scoutmaster. I don't think there's enough applause that we can give him or gratitude that we can show him for everything that he's done. But we really appreciate everything that he's done for the past 7 years. Tonight we celebrated the Scouts' achievements and a quarterly Court of Honor. We recognize the efforts that you put in with earning 10 ranks and 23 merit badges. We listened to the Scouts tell stories about the past few trips, and this would not be possible without the support from the parents, the committee members, and the ASMs. So I do appreciate all the ASMs sitting on the right-hand side here, and I think we really have probably the best ASMs in the district, maybe the council, I don't know. And I'm just excited to know that when Mr. Romano is now joining the ASM ranks, our ASM team just got even better. So,
yeah! Can we not have Joe Cridge come up to the stand?
Kevin, can you smile for me? Thank you. Give it over.